Hey everyone, welcome to Thoughts, Hopes, and Theories, where I ramble about the latest IDs. Today we got AEDD Gregor and Ardor Blossom Star E.G.O Faust up to bat. First we're gonna talk about that one. This is a pretty simple E.G.O. 2 coins, 3 attack weight, gains final power from burn, as well as applying some wrath damage up to Faust next turn, which is very nice. It also inflicts burn potency and count while applying some to yourself, which is good cause, you know, ABS Faust's whole kit is about self-burn, and this E.G.O is shamelessly made to pair with that ID. But then there's the new status, Embers. This is pretty wordy, but from my understanding it just activates the enemy's burn stack whenever their Embers stack runs out, which is some very much needed extra damage. This is neat because it synergizes with Yi Seng's Great Trachaliacosm E.G.O extremely well. Moving past Embers though, the E.G.O passive is the real star of the show. She applies more burn potency based on her self-burn, which is crazy because ABS Faust already has pretty solid potency infliction, so adding more is huge. Then, on top of all that, this E.G.O fixes the biggest issue that the ABS ID had. The fact she would blow up when she uses her skill 3. While this E.G.O passive is active, when using her skill 3, she instead survives, heals, and then gains blunt and wrath damage up. Granted, this will probably have a limit of once or maybe twice a battle, but this is still huge. Oh yeah, the corrosion exists. It's pretty much the same as the Awakening, but it has some slight sanity refund under a certain HP threshold, and it probably rolls higher. But the animation is way cooler in my opinion, so there's that. I really hope they continue doing more with burn, as my ultimate desire is that burn finally enters the conversation for team building beyond just saying, it's really easy to build potency and count, and then moving on. Speaking of moving on, up next we've got my glorious goat Gregor pulling up with one of my favorite Limbus Abnos E.G.O gear, single-handedly carrying the charge status on his back like Sisyphus. And Rupture is also there, I guess. You see, I'm one of the few people on Earth who genuinely likes Charge, and it's been so very disheartening that it has gotten nothing groundbreaking, let alone interesting, in such a long time. The closest thing to innovation we've gotten is when our Korpong Lu had a skill 2 with Unfocused Volley, but Unfocused Volleys aren't even a charge gimmick, it was just introduced with a Charge ID. But I'm rambling. Let's talk about what makes this ID so interesting. Well, first off, he reintroduces photoelectricity, which, fun fact, was first added with Multi-Crack Heathcliff in Season 4. This status is inflicted on enemies, and when a charge ID hits said enemy, they gain charge count. It's such a simple status, but it adds so deeply to the team-building aspects of Charge, as previously, most charge IDs were self-sufficient and just kinda did their own thing. So having an ID that acts as a sort of glue, keeping everyone together as a team rather than being 7 individual people who happen to use the same status is very appreciated. But alongside photoelectricity's utility, we got Charged Sting. This is inflicted on his skill 3 and makes it so skills that gain or consume charge deal extra damage, thus increasing Charge's already high damage output. So basically, this ID is a massive upscale for every single charge ID in the game. And, even if you ignore those, he also just straight up applies charge count to allies through Gloom/Envy Resonance. And, if he is generating more charge count than he can handle, he just gives the extras to his allies. Then, as a nice cherry on top, he gives himself and allies who are wearing E.G.O gear bonus offense level. And there's already 2 charge IDs that wear E.G.O gear and are widely considered to be charge staples, so this is basically just a free bonus. Plus, he has insane survivability. I mean, he is literally able to tank death itself for a few turns with self-charge. But even past that, he has built-in shield generation with the status High Voltage Exoskeleton, which he gains through his skill 3 and guard. With all this, he can hang in the battle for a while and keep amping the team. Also, this might be giving a bit too much credit, but I'd bet good money he's probably gonna roll pretty decently as well. And this isn't even discussing his synergy with his AEDD E.G.O, which allows him to supply even more charge to allies at the cost of his own HP. Which might sound bad, but Gregor has so many self-healing E.G.Os that it really doesn't matter. Honestly, I could just keep going, but I'll save that for my more thorough review video later. For now, I just want to say how grateful I am that the 2 most underappreciated statuses are finally getting some chance to shine. I'd even go as far as to say that Burn and Charge are my favorite statuses in Limbus. Although that's probably due to carryover from Runa, as those were the two statuses I abused most in that game. Anyway, I think that's about it. Overall, I'm super hyped for this banner and really thinking this is a sign that the burn season may come to fruition yet. Let's just hope for that Thumb Apprentice banner next, am I right? Hope you have a good day, and see you later!